Hey y'all, this is Stacy. Welcome to the Vault. I'm so excited that you're here. I'm excited about the subscribers who have subscribed already. So if you haven't, like, comment, I would love to hear from you. And subscribe. I actually have the comments where I have to review them before I post them. So if you don't want your name, published, then I won't publish it, but I will answer your question in love, of course. And so I want to try to make content once a week. And so this is episode number 3, and I'm excited about it. I really just didn't know what to talk about. And I was like, well, Lord, what am I going to talk about? How can I help somebody or encourage somebody today? And the Lord was like, well, talk about your transformation, how you went from being uh, in the clubs um, to now living a Christian and a holy life. So I was like, okay, I'll talk about that. Um, you know, to talk about a transformation means that you've been transformed. You go from one thing to something different. And I know for a fact that God has taken me from being a moth to a beautiful butterfly. There was a time in my life where I would have never used the word beautiful to associate with myself. I know people would always say, would tell me I was beautiful, as I was coming up. And it was hard for me to receive because when I was growing up, I would hear a lot that, I was unattractive or, my lips were big and I was a skinny kid. So I had to grow into my lips. And I really feel like I had to grow into my looks. Okay. And it's 3 of us. It's my oldest sister, my middle sister, and then me. And I always felt like they were so beautiful because people would say that. They would say, "Oh, Melanie, she's so beautiful." That's my oldest sister. "Oh, Renee, oh, she's so pretty, her skin." And when they would get to me, it would be like, "Well, good thing she's smart." And they would call me the professor. Good thing she's smart. So I really struggled, as I was coming up, and because of that, I made some choices that I probably shouldn't have made, and I definitely wouldn't make them today. But what I will say is that those choices that I made have made me stronger and have turned me into help create the woman that I am today. And so, would I want to go back through any of that? Absolutely not. Am I excited that I came through it? You better believe it because it was something else. I got pregnant at 17. I had my baby at 18. I had my first apartment at 17. So I've been living away from my mom's house since I was 17 years old. I lived at 3714 Avenue S in Galveston, Texas. It was some apartments. I don't even know if they're still there, but uh, that's where I stayed. And I had my baby. And at the time, I was with uh, the donor. That's what we're going to say about that. And I have no hard feelings or whatever, but that's just what I'm going to say about that. And so I was living my life, and my life certainly was not going according to my plan. Okay. Because I thought that my life, that I would be living a completely different life, but life happened to me. And I definitely was in a stuck phase where I felt like, oh my God, I've become a statistic. I'm now a teen mom with a baby. I'm not married. What am I going to do? And for a long time, I thought that my baby was a bastard because what I heard was that if you weren't married when you had a baby, that your baby was a bastard. So I was like crying out, and I was like, Lord, I'm so sorry that I would bring my baby into this world, Lord, and she can't go to heaven. So I was really confused, because nobody had ever sat me down and told me any different. So I was already feeling bad. Oh God, I had gained so much weight. Oh my God. I was like, I gained almost 100 pounds, like almost overnight, instantaneously. So you going from, you can just go get your clothes off the rack to it's like 20 what? 20? 22? What? So yeah. So needless to say, I did not like uh where my life was. And so I started going to the clubs. Okay, I got one baby, and my friends going to the club. So we started going to this club called LaShawn's, which was considered the big girl club. Yeah, on Scott Street. I think LaShawn's burned down. I don't know if they rebuilt it or not. But anyway, so we driving from I'm driving from Galveston, taking my friends down there. No driver's license. Riding dirty, going down to the club. And then after we leave the club, then we head over to a Reed's Lounge, leave there, go to Cornbreads, stay there, then drag ourselves down to Taco Cabana. And then I gotta drive back to Galveston, drop everybody off at their house, and then get in my bed. And sometimes I was so tired, I was like, everybody spending the night. I don't care where you sleep, grab a cover. I'm not taking nobody home. This is it. I'm tired. But we did that night after night. Night after night. And at first it was fun. It was exciting because for a while I didn't have to worry about, oh, you done gained this 100 pounds and you're way bigger than you've ever been, and you had this. But it was like, oh, hey, come on, thickness. And so I was feeling myself, because they was feeling me. I was like, oh, okay, this is different. And so, I began to embrace it. But I saw a lot of crazy things happen. And the thing is, LaShawn's, the club, it was one way in and one way out. So I'm grateful for God's protection, because if they would have started shooting, which they did, and thankfully we were never there when they did, or had just got there, or, whatever, or just left, or however that went, but by the grace of God, he kept us. But I saw girls get jumped on. I mean, I've even avoided getting jumped on at the club because the DJ at the time asked to buy me a drink, and I never have been a drinker. I never could drink. Still cannot drink. So my drink of choice at the time was a wine cooler. Couldn't drink. I'm sitting up there drunk off about 3 sips of a wine cooler, just toe up. And these girls, apparently, that was his girlfriend, and the car that he was gonna take me out to eat in after the club, after he got through DJing, was in the car that she had bought him. Okay? Did not know any of this. They followed me out of the club. And he was like, don't say anything. And because this girl on the car in front of me said, leave that girl alone. Y'all just mess with her because she cute. They bypassed me and drug her off the car and started beating her with shoes. I mean, so that she took a beating for me. So I have seen a lot of things, and we were doing that night after night. And after a while, it just got to be redundant and repetitive, but I was so caught up in it, like I couldn't see it out for me. So it was like, this is it. And so I remember distinctly one night I was in the club with gone in, and of course here I go get my wine cooler, and I'm getting everybody drinks at the table. And there was a guy sitting at the bar, and I had on yellow. Matter of fact, it was my mama's outfit. And she said, why don't you put that yellow on? I think that'll be pretty on you. So I had this yellow outfit on, and I went up to the bar to get drinks. And this man put his hand on my hand And I looked and he was like, don't be startled. And I was like, okay. And he said, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. How are you? And he said, what are you doing here? And I was like, huh? And I was puzzled by his question. He said, what are you doing here? And before I could answer, he said, you don't belong here. He said, this is not a place for you. He said, this is not your environment. You don't belong here. And so I was looking at him. I was like, he said, I know you probably don't even understand what I'm saying right now, but this is beneath you. You don't need to be in here. Now, I thought that was interesting. I was like, man. So I went and gave everybody their drinks and had my grape Seagram's wine cooler. And I looked out there on the dance floor and it was like everything was in slow mo. Everything was in slow motion. The music was going, but they were moving in slow motion. And I heard a voice that said to me, is this all you want? Not giving. When it's loud club, I'm drinking, so I think I'm tripping. So I was like, well, what's the alternative? You know? And I didn't hear anything else. And so we left the club. I'm like, Lord, I better stop drinking this wine cooler because clearly I'm drunk. And so we leave there and we went to not what was that place? Well, anyway, I can't think of this other place we went to. And then we went to Taco Cabana like we always would. And I'm gonna say, that cheese at Taco Cabana has definitely changed. Because back in the day, there used to be some good cheese. I recently had Taco Cabana. It was okay. It just wasn't that same thick consistency. Nonetheless, just thought I'd throw that out there. And we came in the house about 6 o'clock, as we normally would. And Rochelle, we stayed at her house, and Rochelle said, "Let's go to church." Church, girl, we just got in here at 6. I said, I ain't got nothing to wear. And she was like, well, wear that dress you wore to the club. And I was like, I ain't got no shoes. She said, me and you wear the same size shoes. Here, put these on. And the strange thing was, I was brought up in the church. Knew, what I will say is that I was brought up in the church and we had a lot of teaching. But I also will say that I never fully accepted Christ. See, I'm glad that the foundation was laid and was set, but I never fully accepted Christ until when I went to church with her. And Rochelle was also a server at IHOP, and she met a pastor and his wife and family, and they gave her a card. And she said, this family came in and they gave me this card. So we dragging church. I'm tired. I halfway got an attitude because I don't want to be here. I want to go sleep. But this pastor, Pastor Jones, Pastor Jerry Jones of Ebenezer Baptist Church, shout out to you and Miss Sheila. The Lord used him so it was like he was looking directly through me. He was talking to me, everything that I felt, all of the crying out and wanting to stop this lifestyle and wanting to do something different. But my environment was conducive of what I was doing. And so when he got through, I just got up and I went to the front and I said, I'm tired. I know you have heard people say that before, but I am sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm through. And can I tell you, I never went back to the club after that. When I tell you he took the desire away, and I remember after I went up there and rededicated, I'll say accepted Christ. Because you can only rededicate if you actually accept it. Because I had said I accepted him, but my lifestyle and the choices that I was making lets me know that my conversion did not happen until that club when he got my attention. And my life has never been the same. All of my problems were not dissolved because now I had a new set of problems. Oh, she thinks she's so holy. Oh, she thinks she better than everybody. You can still go to the club and be saved. Well, you can, but not me. Because my true transformation has come. And I have over the years where I thought I was close to people when my conversation started to change and my appearance started to change and my attitude started to change, I lost a lot of, well, I'm not going to say I lost them. We just were at different intersections in our lives. And the Lord started to open different avenues and different doors for me. And I'm excited about what God has done and is doing. And I pray that when I make these videos, that something I say will help somebody. That's my goal. If it doesn't help but just one person, I'll be excited about that. And some people will say, well, the club ain't no bad place. And okay, you don't go to the club. No, I still go. Well, you know what? That's that's good for you. But for me, I was tired. It had become a way of life. Everything that's associated with the club, the lights dark and dim, and it's a lot of stuff that go on. That's why people look so different under, when them lights low. You go outside, you be like, who is that? That can't be who I was talking. When them lights come on, people start scattering like roaches. And for us, like when we were at LaShawn's, we always knew when the night was getting ready to end because that last song was always gonna be T-shirt and My Panties On by Dina Howard, and everybody wanted to have a dance. So everybody wanted to have a partner to dance with. I don't care if you ain't danced all night. You wanted to have a partner, and it just got to the point where I didn't even care about having a partner to dance with anymore. I was tired of the dance altogether. Same old lies, same old just different days, different outfits, different terrible smelling cologne. And I never. I mean, I wouldn't even give my phone number. I would give like the wrong number because I just wouldn't. I mean, I was there, but I wasn't there, and I wasn't happy. And so you can go out and have a good time, but if your soul is crying out for something different, then you need to feed it something different. And I believe God will meet you where you are, just like he met me where I was. He will come see about you. I was crying out. I was tired. I was disgusted. I was sick of what was going on and what I was putting up with, and just leading the caliber of life that he never intended for me to live. And I'm so grateful, that he freed me from all of that. And, like I said, it's not that I don't have any problems, because I definitely do. Everybody has issues. But when I tell you I have a peace that surpasses all understanding, I have a joy that this world did not give and can never take away. And, I know people talking about, they talk a lot, can a person change? I am a testament of God changing you, because anybody knew me post club, pre club, would be like, wow, the girl really has changed. So if he can change me, he can certainly change you. And if you feel like your life isn't where you want it to be, and you feel like you are struggling and you are drowning, maybe your story is not my story. Maybe it's something completely, maybe you feel alone, or maybe you feel like you're by yourself and you don't have anybody that cares about you, and you're in this big old tough world by yourself. I'm here to tell you that God loves you. And I encourage you to read Romans 10:9. And it just says, if you believe in your heart and you confess with your mouth that the Lord Jesus Christ died for your sins and was resurrected, you'll be made whole. And if you believe that, you have to believe it in your heart for yourself. I can't make you believe it, you know. And when you confess it with your mouth, you're saved. Salvation is the only free thing in this world, but it will cost you to live it. And you definitely have to count up the cost. I'm talking about friends, family, places, spaces, head spaces. Yeah, it when you are really trying to lead a godly life, everything around you will change. Every tree that can be shaken will be shaken. Yeah, but you'll come out of it better, smelling just a sweet, with a sweet, sweet fragrance. So I just wanted to share my transformation, and I pray that it blesses you. I'm not here to debate whether you believe in God or Jesus or his son. I'm not here to debate that. I'm just telling you what happened in my life. And I can tell you that falling in love with Jesus was the best thing that I have ever done. I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I have been through a lot, going to church, to worship. That's what I'll say, because we're the church. You know, if you're a Christian and you're the church, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But what I will say, I've been hurt in and out of the church, but the pros far outweigh the cons. And I just want to encourage you, to just try the Lord, try him for yourself. If you call out to him, he'll definitely answer you. And don't be surprised if you sitting there with you a grape Seagram's wine cooler and he asks you a question, and whatever the question is, answer it. So I love you. Thank you for coming to the vault, a place where everybody is welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. And like I said, if you have a comment and you don't want me to, or a question, and you don't want me to share your name, please drop it below. I'm learning, and I'm excited for the next videos. Until then, peace and blessings. I love you.